What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, with the NFL trade deadline fast approaching, a lot of NFL fans are talking about whether Lions should be buyers, whether they should be sellers, and who needs to be traded from or to the Lions. However, in recent days, there has been a report and a rumor to come out that the Pittsburg Steelers, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, are looking to acquire Jarrad Davis to their linebacking core to help bolster that linebacking core and help them take another step forward as an organization. Now, in this video, I will be talking about this trade scenario, whether or not it would work out for the Steelers, whether or not the Lions should be interested in giving away Jarrad Davis, and just kind of go over both sides of the situation and whether or not the Lions should be trading Jarrad Davis away at this point. Now, before we do get into the video, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying this Detroit Lions content, consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day, and it helps me push this content out to more Lions fans, more NFL fans, and it just helps me grow the channel a ton. So if you could do that, I would be greatly appreciative for it. But with that being said, let's get into talking about this trade scenario and whether or not either team should try to trade Jarrad Davis. Now, the main reason that the Pittsburgh Steelers even want to trade for Jarrad Davis is because their starting middle linebacker in Devin Bush, a former top 10 NFL draft selection, tore his ACL early in the NFL season and will not return until next season, will not return until the 2021 season, if that. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have made a decision, or, it's rumored that they have been looking to acquire Jarrad Davis's talents to, kind of replace Devin Bush, kind of replace what he's doing on that Pittsburgh defense. Now, obviously, this makes a lot of sense for Pittsburgh, right? Jarrad Davis is a big, fast, strong, aggressive linebacker that is really good at run stop, really good at pressuring, really good at blitzing, and, that Pittsburgh defense is very aggressive. That Pittsburgh Steelers defense gets a lot of sacks, rushes their linebackers a lot, and, I think Jarrad Davis would fit in very, very well with a Pittsburgh system that does those kinds of things, that lets their linebackers blitz, that lets their linebackers be aggressive, and, I just think that system fits Jarrad Davis much better than what we have been running in Detroit. However, this doesn't really make a lot of sense from the Detroit Lions perspective unless we do get, say, a first and something else, or unless we do get like a player and a higher draft pick. Unless we get a really nice return for Jarrad Davis, this trade does not make a lot of sense from the Lions standpoint. Now, Jarrad Davis is a very controversial player when it comes to Lions fans. Some Lions fans love the dude, some Lions fans hate the dude, and a lot of Lions fans just are very mixed on their opinions with Jarrad Davis, and it was one of the players on the team that probably has the most division between opinions when it comes to the fans. Even if you think Jarrad Davis is a good player, even if you think he's a bad player, you can't deny the fact that he has been very, very productive this season for the Lions when given opportunities. Now, Jarrad Davis only played in 126 snaps for the Detroit Lions in 2020. However, in just one of those 126 snaps, he has absolutely thrived. Now, Jarrad Davis has blitzed 5 times for the Detroit Lions this year, has had 3 hurries, 1 quarterback knockdown, 5 pressures, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 forced fumbles on the season so far. Again, only playing in 126 snaps. Now, 3 of those pressures, 3 of those hurries, and 1 of those forced fumbles did come in last week's game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he's coming off a very, very good performance where he was graded, I believe, the highest, where he was given a 90+ grade by Pro Football Focus in that game. He has an 81.1 grade overall by Pro Football Focus on the season. So if you're a guy that likes Pro Football Focus, there's that stat for you. Like, Jarrad Davis has been playing very, very well in the opportunities that he's been given, and he has not been given the opportunity very often to go make plays for this linebacking core, for this Lions defense. Now, Jarrad Davis is an elite talent. I'm not saying he's an elite player. I'm not saying that what he's done in the NFL has been warranted a first-round pick, has warranted a top 20 pick in the NFL draft, but you can't deny the dude's talent. I mean, he is big, fast, strong linebacker, has sideline-to-sideline speed, hits hard, is great at blitzing, is great at putting his head on the football, great at forcing fumbles. I mean, this dude makes plays when he's given the opportunity, and yeah, he might struggle a little bit in pass coverage. Yeah, he might struggle here and there. He might, read the wrong gap. He might run through the wrong hole occasionally, might be too aggressive according to Matt Patricia, but you can't deny that Jarrad Davis makes plays when it matters. You can't deny what Jarrad Davis has done this season for the Lions, and he's been given more opportunity as of late. I felt like he was given a little bit more opportunity in week 6 than in weeks prior. But, he's an elite talent. The Lions need to learn how to use his ability to help the defense out as much as possible. And I think, looking at the stats and looking at how he played in week 6, this Lions defense, the way that they're transitioning and the way that they played on Sunday against Jacksonville, fits Jarrad Davis much, much better than how they were using him in the past. Now, as I said, in week 6, Jarrad Davis had 3 pressures, 3 hurries, and a forced fumble, as well as, he just got to the quarterback. He forced pressure. He forced Minshew out of the pocket. He forced mistakes. He got his head on the football and forced a fumble on James Robinson. Unfortunately, it was not able to be recovered. It, popped out of bounds, which is unfortunate. But Jarrad Davis still got his head on the football, still made a good hit, still forced a fumble, and, made a good play on the ball for the Lions defense. This defense for the Detroit Lions is, at least as of last week, is transitioning to something that fits Jarrad Davis so much better than what they were doing in prior weeks. This defense has become blitz heavy. This defense has, gotten a lot more pressure. They've allowed Jarrad Davis to be a lot more aggressive and just go get the quarterback and go put some moves. Like, Jarrad Davis was put on the defensive line a couple different times the other day, and he still got pressure. Like, he was beating left tackles off the snap. He was beating right tackles off the defensive line like a jack linebacker, and he was doing it efficiently. He was doing it cleanly, and you saw him get pressured over and over and over again, especially late in that Jacksonville game where they were forced to pass, and Jarrad Davis could just hone in on the pass rush. Jarrad Davis could just hone in on Minshew and really, focus on going to get the quarterback. He wasn't put into coverage. He wasn't put into susceptible situations. He was put on the line. He was told, go get the quarterback. And, although he didn't quite get to the quarterback, although he didn't get that sack, didn't necessarily, hit the quarterback and force a fumble like Trey Flowers, he still put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, still forced Minshew out of the pocket, still forced him to roll out, and still made a lot of really, really impactful plays in Jacksonville. The way that this defense is transforming, the way that they are becoming more aggressive, they're blitzing more, they're tougher, they're meaner, they're stopping the run a little bit better, that all fits what Jarrad Davis does. Jarrad Davis might not be the best, he might not have the best technique, he might not be, the best in pass coverage, but Jarrad Davis is mean, he's aggressive, he hits hard, he forces fumbles, he's sideline to sideline speed, he is a fantastic tackler, and in this kind of defense where we're blitzing, we're giving Jarrad Davis opportunities to get sacks and go get the passer, and with this defensive scheme that they ran in Jacksonville, fits Jarrad Davis so much better than what they were doing in years prior, what they were doing in weeks prior, weeks 1 through 4. And, this defense, I've said it a couple of times now, just is starting to fit Jarrad Davis. And I don't know if they're, necessarily changing the defense to fit what he is doing, but no matter if they are doing it for him or not, the way that they are using him now, the way that they used him in Jacksonville is so much more effective. And if they continue to do that over and over, if they do that in Atlanta, if they do that in Indianapolis, if they do that in, whoever we play after Indianapolis, I can't remember at the moment. But if they keep doing it, Jarrad Davis is going to continue to get pressures. He's going to continue to get hurries, and he's only going to continue to get forced fumbles. So, in my opinion, trading Jarrad Davis does not make sense in this scenario. Trading Jarrad Davis just gets rid of talent. It just gets rid of, a guy that you spent a high first-round pick on. And unless we can get a first-round pick in return for Jarrad Davis, which is possible, we saw them trade a first-round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick last year. The Steelers did. So, it's possible that we get a first-round pick out of Jarrad Davis, and maybe we can get a great player out of that first-round pick as well. But, just looking at what Jarrad Davis has done on the field, I would take Jarrad Davis right now over a very late first round pick. Right now, if I were to look at what Jarrad Davis can contribute versus what somebody in the late 20s, early 30s can do in the NFL draft, I'm taking Jarrad Davis every single time. We're not going to get a Micah Parsons out of this pick even if we get a first round pick from Pittsburgh. We're not going to get a Micah Parsons to replace Jarrad Davis. We're not going to get a Gregory Rousseau to rush the passer. We're not going to get some of that elite talent that's there early in the draft with a pick that's late in the 20s, early in the 30s, like I think Pittsburgh will be at when the season comes to an end. So trading Jarrad Davis doesn't make any sense for the Lions, and they cannot afford to trade Jarrad Davis. We look at what the Lions have done. We look at what Matt Patricia's done so far in Detroit. He's traded so many guys. He's got rid of Quandre Diggs. He's gotten rid of Darius Slay. He got rid of Golden Tate. And all of those moves, all of those trades divided the locker room at a point in time. The trading of Quandre Diggs made Darius Slay want to leave. The trading of Darius Slay was a very controversial one amongst Lions players. And then Jarrad Davis is a leader in that locker room. Jarrad Davis is a leader on the field. field. He is one of the dudes that every time a soundbite comes out, every time, you see the sights and sounds by the Detroit Lions, Jarrad Davis is always in that, always talking, always motivating, always helping his teammates be better through words. And he's a great communicator. He's a great leader on and off the field. I mean, he is the locker room presence. He is a fantastic locker room presence in the Lions building, and getting rid of him would hurt the Lions play on the field. It would hurt, obviously the talent would probably not be able to be recuperated from a pick that we get from the Pittsburg Steelers. We're probably not going to get the same talent we get back. If we were to trade Jarrad Davis, we wouldn't get that type of talent back in a late round pick or in a late first round pick, even if we do somehow get a first round pick out of Jarrad Davis, and it would divide the locker room once again. This team is all, once again, it's a very small sample size. I understand that, but looking at how the Lions played last week versus the Jaguars, they were aggressive, they were mean, they hit hard, they were really, really good, and dividing this locker room now is only going to cause problems. It seems like the Lions have figured out their defense. It seems like they figured out how to be effective. It seems like they figured out how to stop the run and how to get after the passer, and it seemed like the Detroit Lions defense played much, much better in the past week. And so taking what works, taking a leader from that defense, and all of a sudden just shipping him on, even if it is for a first round pick, like that is going to divide the locker room. There are guys in there that love Jarrad Davis. There are all of the players in there respect him. They look up to Jarrad Davis. They look to him for guidance on the sidelines. They look for him on the field. And when Jarrad Davis is on the field, he makes plays. When he's off the field, he helps his teammates make plays, and he is just a leader in the locker room. He's a leader on the field, and you cannot afford to get rid of that. If you're trying to build a culture in Detroit based on hard work and work ethic, Jarrad Davis should be the poster child for that. All he does is work hard, shows up early. He's the first guy in the building. He's the last guy to leave the building. He's a leader. He plays well. He's working hard. If Patricia truly wants to build a culture based off of hard work and dedication and just outperforming everybody on every given Sunday, Jarrad Davis needs to be in Detroit. Jarrad Davis is the poster child for that. That is what he has been preaching. That is what he's done since he was drafted by the Detroit Lions. All he's done in Detroit is worked hard, improved, gotten better, and made plays for this team. And the Detroit Lions, even if it is a very enticing offer to say, okay, well, we're looking at a guy that isn't getting a lot of snaps for this defense. We're looking at a guy that, in Jarrad Davis, that we drafted in the first round and might not have necessarily lived up to our expectations as a first round linebacker. So maybe it is time to move on from Jarrad Davis. Unless we get an absolute haul, unless we get like a first and a third or something like that, unless we get a first or a second, which isn't going to happen, there is no reason for the Lions to trade Jarrad Davis. He is a playmaker. He is a leader. He is building that culture almost single-handedly in Detroit, and he is probably the second best playmaker on the defense as of right now behind Jamie Collins. He might even be arguably the biggest playmaker and the most impactful player on the team when he actually sees the field. So there is no reason for the Lions to trade Jarrad Davis. The Steelers, if they want him, they need to give up an absolute haul. If they think Jarrad Davis can save their defense, and if they think that he can complete their defense, then we need to hold our cards right to our chest, and we need to get the maximum amount of value for Jarrad Davis, because he's a playmaker, he is a leader, and we cannot get rid of this guy lightly. We cannot just give him away for a third round pick. We cannot just give him away for a late round pick and a depth player. This is a playmaker. This is a leader. This is a guy that pretty much runs the locker room here in Detroit. You can't get rid of that. Yeah, you might be able to replace the talent, but if we get rid of Jarrad Davis, we are not going to replace that culture. We are not going to replace that dedication, that hard work that Jarrad Davis preaches every single day in Detroit. So yeah, this is a trade rumor that I saw the other day, and I think if the Lions were to make this move, it would be an absolutely horrible move for the organization. It would be moving the organization in the wrong direction, and it would really cause a divide in the locker room amongst players and coaches yet again, which is something the Lions cannot afford to have happen. So with all that being said, that is what I think about this trade scenario. It could be enticing depending on what the Steelers do offer up, but I don't think, even if we get a first round pick out of Jarrad Davis, we're not going to be able to gain that value back that we have in Jarrad Davis right now. So in my opinion, it's just not worth trading him. It's just not worth getting rid of Jarrad Davis at this point. He needs to stay in Detroit. He needs to help move this team into the future and help this team and help this defense keep moving in the right direction as the weeks go on. With all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. If you are new to the channel, as I said in the beginning, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day to do so, and it helps me push this channel out to everybody that needs to see it. It helps the channel out so much, and I could not be more appreciative for everybody that chooses to help. with that being said, though, that is all I got for you guys right now. If there is Lions news before tomorrow, then we'll obviously make a video letting everybody know. But if there is no Lions news, then I will see you all tomorrow with more Detroit Lions content. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.